Welcome to Gainesville, otherwise known as the Swamp, or if you are familiar with the history, it's Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the home of the Florida Gators, as they play host for this very crucial SEC matchup in Week 4. I'm David Roy, and in the booth with me tonight is the commissioner of the CFSL, Mike Peters. And Mike, it's a matchup between two unbeatens, and it's almost got a playoff atmosphere to it.
I think it does, very much so. Two 3-0 teams looking to be the number one team in the SEC. The winner controls their destiny. The loser is going to be tied for second, going to battle it out for a spot in the playoffs. Right now, Florida has looked really good. They have the best defense in the league point-wise, but they also have the lowest scoring offense. They're going to need to figure that out tonight if they want to beat Auburn.
Auburn with Griffin Jelkic starting an empty backfield. He's going to run a draw, runs into Oswald, and then finally gets a yard as Dylan Wingo and company will drag him down. But Mike Griffin Jelkic experiencing a great four-game stretch, including that national championship game a season ago.
Yeah, he's been on fire lately. 430 yards in the championship game, went over 303 times, as that one's batted away there. I think you mentioned it before. He's got 16 touchdowns, no interceptions over the last 4 games. He's really been on fire, but a little bit of a rocky start for him tonight.
And a long third down upcoming. Jelkic to throw. Standing in, taking a shot over to the left sideline, and that pass coming back for it. Cross Ferry the third with a 36-yard gain.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I thought that was an interception, the way that Dakota Wolf had it played, but Cross Ferry does a better job of going back and getting it. Beats him. You got to tip your hat to that great play there by Cross Ferry, and a big gain for Auburn.
From the Florida 34-yard line here, the 38, as they're going to set up an I formation. Crossferry the third comes in motion, and Robert Davis, his first carry of the game, and he is going nowhere. This Florida defense continuing their strong start as Andrew Muck gets his second tackle.
Yeah, the defense, as I mentioned, has been very good. They're first in points allowed, first in first downs allowed, second total yards allowed, first in pass defense allowed. Not many people expected it out of this Florida team, but they're really stepping up, and you see it there.
Four wide, Jelkic with the three-man rush, and Griffin Jelkic taking off and running, and he's got a set of wheels on him. Shows it there to pick up 11 yards and make this a very manageable third down.
You know, it's been a long time since Griffin Jelkic has really done a lot. I mean, you go all the way back to, I think this is his freshman season against TCU, 171 yards, but he's got the ability to do it.
Well, Robert Davis has got some ability to him as he picks up 3 yards with that. He's only got a positive gain of 1 yard on 2 carries here tonight. But Robert Davis, Mike, over the last 3 weeks, over 100 yards rushing in each.
Yeah, and he was the league's leading rusher coming in, and that definitely welcome sight for Auburn fans.
Griffin Jelkic under center. Michael McKenzie got split out. They bring him back in as this Florida defense gets home. Muhammad Damore with the help of the blitz sacks Jelkic for a loss of 5.
Well, Damore led the league in sacks a season ago. That's his 4th of the season. Now in 4 games, he's back on track for what he was doing. He's a big part of this Florida defense, and we see why there.
And the last time he played Auburn, he had a really good game. 7 tackles, 4 for a loss, and the 1 sack. And he's already got a sack here tonight as McKenzie, the tight end, in motion for a long second down. Jelkic trying to stand in, pressure coming. He's going to take a shot to the left side and making the grab down inside the 10. That's the 3-star Matt Suarez.
Well, I thought they were going to go the Michael McKenzie release on an out route to the right, but they go with the corner route, the Suarez to the left, perfectly thrown ball there by Griffin Jelkic. Big play, 1st and goal.
Ball spotted at the 7, and it is the 9th play of this current drive and the opening drive for the Auburn offense as they go with a handoff. Robert Davis corralled pretty quickly by Wyatt King, and then Davis able to slip by him and get a yard.
Yeah, right now the Florida defense not giving Davis much room to work with. And that one, actually, I think he should have took it up the middle, and he kind of went outside a little bit. And we'll see how Florida's defense does here down inside the 10.
Handoff again, Davis running right, and a big lane for him as he fights and gets into the end zone for the opening touchdown of the Auburn offense.
Well, that time the defense was playing strong or heavy to the strong side. He left the backside open, and that's not a good idea. Go one-on-one with Robert Davis in the open field. It's not the easiest tackle to make, and Auburn capitalizes and takes the early lead.
A 10-play drive here for Auburn, and they come away with points and chew up a bit of time. And Mike, it's a tale of two very different quarterbacks. Griffin Jelkic comes into tonight third in the league in passing yards. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Matthias St. John has the third fewest passing yards coming into tonight.
And he's only got a couple of touchdowns to go with one pick. He's really been a bigger part of this running game this season, as he's got 440 rushing yards versus 662 passing. They've really predicated their offense on the run, and I suspect we're going to see more of that tonight.
St. John beginning in the gun here, and he's going to give it to Bentley Jones running right, and there to chase him down is Mark Calloway, who stops Jones at the line of scrimmage.
I've been begging for them to get Bentley Jones more involved all season long. They start off going to him there. We'll see if they keep that up. St. John's been the bigger runner out of the two, almost twice as many yards, but we'll see if Jones gets more tonight.
The draw play here, and it goes backwards for Bentley Jones as Conrad Wallace gets through to make that stop, and now Matthias St. John, this Florida offense, put in a long third down situation themselves.
Yeah, not the spot that they want to be in, although Auburn was in a similar situation. They go to their five-star receiver, Crossberry third. He bails them out. We'll see if they go to Kellen Irvin here.
St. John going to set up the halfback screen here for Bentley Jones, and this the Auburn defense going to have no part of that as Micah Myers shuts it down for a loss of one, and so Florida a very quick 3-and-out.
Yeah, and OPP was over there too. This defense is just too fast to try to get that out there. You can beat them if you get them on a blitz every now and again, but on a 3rd and 13, I don't like you playing field position there, trying to trick them. I would have liked you taking a shot like Auburn did, and so now you're going to punt it away. You're in danger here with great field position for Auburn going down 2 scores.
Crossberry the third trying to pick his way across, and he will out to the Florida 41. But Mike, you point out this is a very precarious spot here for this Florida team that they just come off the upset win against LSU last week. And here both teams come into tonight unbeaten. This is really big for Florida.
It is. I mean, it's big for both of these teams. You can't say it's bigger for one or the other. This is the biggest test, though, that Florida's going to face.
High formation here for Griffin Jelkic. And he's going to go with a 5-step drop, rolling right, taking a shot back to the left side and wide open and on the sideline, Michael McKenzie. That's a 24-yard pickup.
Well, right now, the receivers for Auburn are finding the open spaces in the defense against Florida, and it's allowing Griffin Jelkic to get in a rhythm. And we've seen over the last 4 games what happens when Jelkic gets in a rhythm. I know that this Florida secondary is good. They're one of the best pass defenses in the league, but you don't want to give Jelkic comfort back there.
Robert Davis running left, and the Florida defense clamps down on that play pretty quickly. Dakota Wolf coming up actually to make that tackle.
Yeah, Robert Davis, surprisingly, Florida has been decent against the run, only 7th in the league against the run, but they're doing a really good job against Davis today.
Jelkic a throw here, and that pass dumped off for Robert Davis as he's going to pick his way across and into the end zone for another touchdown.
Well, that was just excellent vision and elusiveness by Robert Davis. He sees the defenders. He cuts around. A lot of people would have powered through that and taken a chance of getting tackled. He weaves his way around the defense, finds a lane into the end zone for a touchdown. Great drive there by Auburn. Great play there by Robert Davis. Quickly down 2 scores here in front of the home crowd. Florida facing some adversity. We'll see how they respond.
Great blocking there by Crossberry the third and Michael McKenzie to set that up. And Mike, this is a big game for Florida, not only in the sense that we've laid out for this season, even though this is the second conference game for both teams, but it's big for Florida in another aspect. They have yet to beat Auburn in their shared history together. It's Kellen Irvin getting away into the open field, and he is going to be pushed out of bounds at the Auburn 41.
Huge run right down the left hash marks, found the hole in the coverage, and gets a big play there and sparks this Florida offense.
From the Auburn 42, here's Bentley Jones to the inside, and there to greet him with a big hit is Ollie P. Peters after the gain of 5.
I think Bentley Jones has been a little too comfortable running against the previous 3 teams. Going to have a little bit different story against this Auburn team. OPP, Mark Calloway, amongst others. He's in for a long night if he takes on defenders head on.
Pistol set here for this Florida offense for the first time tonight, and Jones gets motion in the backfield, and Matthias St. John trying to throw, spins out of trouble, and Matthias St. John, he's got a set of wheels, picking up 15 down to the 21.
Well, I talked about this earlier. He's been the leading rusher on this team, twice as many yards as Bentley Jones coming in, running the ball, and we see why there. He's got good athleticism. He's a big, strong kid. and he shows it there. Got him down just outside of the red zone. Florida desperately needs to capitalize here.
Spot at the 22, actually. So St. John, read option keeper this time, and here's Matthias St. John showing those legs yet again, picking up 8 on that carry.
I think you see some of the overconfidence maybe in the Gators coming into this one as they are taking on these defenders head on. They're going to have to stop doing that, or eventually one of these balls is going to pop out of there.
Ambrose McDanielson, the new addition of this Auburn defense, comes downhill, and a dangerous throw there as that pass nearly intercepted on the wide receiver screen.
Jaquan Jackson jumps that, had the pick, it would have been his first of his career, saw the end zone and couldn't bring it in.
3rd and 2. Play action, quick throw out into the flats, and there to break that up is Ollie P. Peters. Walk-on lane holds on, but it's now 4th and 1, and Florida will not go for it. They will instead call upon Anthony Ammon to attack on a 30-yard field goal.
And he knocks it home. So they get points out of that, but if you're Florida, you got to be a little disappointed. You get a great return there. They really spark your offense. You get a couple of nice runs by Matthias St. John, but you can't get it in the end zone. This is a different defense than they've played all season. It's really testing them there right now. And right now, they're not dealing with it very well.
Well, not only the defense, but this offense has been very different as well. You look at this Auburn team, only 13 plays they've run offensively, but they've got the 14 points. And this Florida defense, while they've had moments, have not been able to keep them out of the end zone. Griffin Jelkic, handoff. Robert Davis right to the right, trying to cut back upfield, and he will get out to the 31. It's a gain of 4.
Well, it seems like the game plan for this one is shut down Robert Davis. And right now they're doing a good job doing that. The problem is they've got one of the league's best quarterbacks back there throwing to maybe the league's best group of wide receivers. Right now they're losing that battle.
And Griffin Jelkic yet to throw an interception this season, one of just 2 quarterbacks for that to be true. The other will play tomorrow in Michigan's Tanner Jones as Michael McKenzie makes that catch off the check down. He'll pick up 3 for 3rd and 2.
Well, it's a good job of the Florida defense. They're keeping everything in front of them, not allowing them to get the first down. They got an opportunity. They're going to need Wyatt King or one of these guys to get in and make a stop here.
So defense trying to get their home fans involved. As a play fake, Jelkic throwing that one into traffic, and Andrew Mock will intercept that one. It's the first pick for Jelkic of the season, and I'm going to be blamed for that.
Well, Hunky Dory, the AD and head coach here at Florida, said going into the last week's game that Colt Youngblood hadn't turned it over, or maybe had only turned it over once, and they got after him. Well, they get after Jelkic there. They bring the blitz. I think it was a 6 or 7 man blitz. There's a lot of guys coming, overload blitz. He throws it in the double coverage, panics a little bit. Mock does a great job picking it off.
Well spotted at their own 42. Matthias St. John with a 3-man rush and a quick strike, and falling backwards, reaching backwards for it was Kellen Irvin to get 4.
Yeah, that was not a well-placed ball there by Matthias St. John, but Irvin does a good job. Short gain, but good job to react.
St. John from the gun, looking. 3-man rush. Stepping up, and Matthias St. John just going to take off and run, and he powers through Micah Myers, ends up about a yard shy of the line to gain, but a very manageable 3rd down now.
Well, it is, but I think he got the first down. I think that was a bad spot there. I think he got it. I don't mind that so much. You're fighting for the first down, big guy in there, but they didn't give it to him.
From the gun, and St. John to throw. This is a 4-man rush, and that pass into traffic, but the walk-on, Ashton Jones holding on despite the hit by Myers.
Well, they got the first down, but what I'd like to see him do is go to Bentley Jones there and maybe go with a read option. You got that big back there, but you're just not using him.
So here they're going to empty out the backfield as we hit the 32nd mark of this first quarter, and a quick throw over to the left side. That's the walk-on Marcus Williams this time, picking up 3 yards.
Yeah, a little short pass there underneath, and the Gators are doing that. They're playing a little conservative right now. They're going to have to test this defense. They don't have the best corners out there. You got an opportunity to exploit them. We'll see if they can do it.
And off here for Bentley Jones, and Jones gets 10 yards with that carry. That's his longest of the night.
And they're going to need more of that. Bentley Jones up the middle, play action, taking shots deep. That's the recipe for success.
Will get the snap off, and Jones going to get another carry, and he's going to run into the teeth of the Auburn defense, gets 3 yards, and that's how we end the first quarter of play. Auburn, a very quick 14-point lead, but Florida responds with a field goal and trying to add something to that. Start of the second quarter here for this edition of the CFSL on YouTube Live as part of our Friday night primetime matchup as Bentley Jones with that carry picks up 4 yards. So 3rd and 3 now for the Gators.
Yeah, and they're going to Bentley Jones. What I want to see, but it's eventually Auburn's going to bite down on it if you don't take some shots over the middle and make them pay. And now they're bringing the safety into the box.
Pistol set. St. John making an adjustment. Going to look to throw. Blitz coming. And a quick throw, but that pass dropped in the vicinity of Tyler Wilson's hands, but he could not hold on.
Yeah, they're going to have to settle for the 41-yard attempt here, but you got to have your guys make catches when you have an opportunity like that.
Anthony Ammon from 41 yards out, and he misses that one.
Well, he was lined up on the right hash, and he just hooks it too far to the left, and it's a little bit harder. If you're a lefty on the left hash or righty on the right hash, it makes it harder. You're kicking back across your body, and it comes back to bite Ammon there.
Auburn will take over with a play fake and a quick throw to the left sideline. That is Michael McKenzie picking up 5. And Mike, this Florida defense unable to capitalize on the interception. Now they've got to find another way to generate some spark and some momentum for this team. Lead option keeper, Jelkic running right and into the traffic of the Florida defense. Only picks up 4, but it's 3rd and short.
Yeah, the offense wasn't able to capitalize there. And if your defense is going to make plays, you've got to capitalize on it. You got to make those kicks. You got to try to get it in the end zone. And right now, the Florida offense just isn't working out against this Auburn D.
Jelkic, quick throw. That's Bubba Davis, and he's going to try to work his way back to the inside. Get 7, but Jelkic not letting that early pick bother him.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. He hasn't thrown one this season. He hasn't thrown one in 5 games. But typically, he does a pretty good job of bouncing back from them. We'll see if they can get to him a second time, though. That's going to be the key.
Play fake and the throw over the middle. That's Bubba Davis. He'll pick up 15 yards before he's brought down by Andrew Mock and company. And, Mike, they're turning to Davis now.
Well, they'll use all the different receivers out there. When they get an opportunity over the middle or outside, they'll go to Cross Ferry. They'll go to Michael McKenzie, and especially trying to pick up first downs, they'll go to Bubba Davis over the middle. We see a first down from him there, and that's not going to be the last one we see tonight.
Ball spotted at the Florida 45. Here's a wide receiver screen for Cross Ferry the third. Breaks one tackle. Takes a hard hit that sends him tumbling to the Florida sideline.
Well, somebody clip that. Good Lord. I think that's the hardest hit we've ever seen in this league. As Wyatt King set him up, and then that was Howie Richardson, the walk-on, to just black. Where does a walk-on get power line? How is he a walk-on?
Oh, boy. Cross Ferry the third got an introductory course to gymnastics tonight. As that throw out into the flats, and Michael McKenzie showing a little power after the catch, picks up a couple yards.
I think he turned into Gumby after that, the way his body was contorting as he spun around the field.
3rd down and 3, and Auburn has been great on 3rd down tonight, 3 of 4 so far, this being their 5th try to convert. And Robert Davis, a stiff arm, but he's not going to get to the first down marker as Dylan Wingo gets the stop.
Well, that's an excellent job there by the Florida defense. They had a feeling that Auburn was going to go for the run there. They played it. They executed it well. They get him off the field here with a punt. They've got to figure out, they're faking it.
A fake punt, and it's going to get blown up. They throw it to Ollie P. Peters, but the Florida punt team unit in great position to stop him.
Yeah, it was an excellent job there. I don't know if it was greatly executed, but Florida staying on their toes. They've got a really good defense. Their offense has been the question mark. Lowest scoring offense in the league coming into this game. They're struggling right now against this Auburn defense.
They struggled last week in the red zone against the LSU defense. As that pass over to the left side on the great route there by Bentley Jones, showing power to pick up that first down.
Well, I like that. If you're going to go to Bentley Jones, do it on the wheel routes like that so he can get out in open space. Don't run halfback screens. Perfect play call.
Pistol set here from their own 49, and Matthias St. John with a 3-man rush. Floating that over to the right sideline. That's walk-on Ashton Jones, picking up 3.
I still don't like how conservative they're being out there. I want to see St. John take a shot. Maybe get the tight end Cam Johnson on a post route. Maybe take a shot deep to Kellen Irvin. Right now, a little too conservative for me.
Empty backfield. Bentley Jones being the motion man here. They're going to throw it to him, little halfback or wide receiver screen, however you want to phrase it or call it as Jones fights and picks up 3 to set up another manageable third down.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. You're moving them across the field. You're setting them up behind 3 blockers, getting them out in space. Auburn's defense does a good job shutting it down, and now you got a manageable third down.
Pistol set. St. John to throw. 4-man rush. Here's St. John running, and he cannot get away. As brought down pretty quickly by the walk-on Justin Hill.
Yeah, might have took off and ran there a little bit too quickly. Thought he had some space. Didn't let his receivers have a chance out there. And they're going to wind up having to punt it away. No points for Florida yet again.
So Florida will punt, and this will hit at the 5 and then very slowly bounce into the end zone.
They take a look at the 3 stars, Davis, Jelkic, and Ferry. They're all doing their part tonight. And although outside of the one pass, Davis, Florida's done a good job of shutting him down.
Griffin Jelkic starting in the gun from his own 20, and Robert Davis going to get the carry here, and he will pick up 6 yards, the most that he has had on a run here tonight.
Well, I have a feeling that the longer this game goes, the more he's going to be able to get. He can kind of grind it out, kind of like Billy Carter they've had before. They'll do that here, and if you let him keep this lead, it's going to make it easier for him.
Single back set here as Griffin Jelkic going to motion a tight end over to the right side. Robert Davis trying to run that side, cuts back in, and he'll pick up 3, setting up 3rd and 2 here for the Tigers.
Davis has such great vision as he goes outside, tries to cut back inside, finds the only lane that he can, but he just gets caught up on his linemen who weren't quite fast enough.
Just a full house. Play fake. Jelkic throwing, and a nice little dump off there for the walk-on at fullback, James Richardson, who's able to squeak out the first down.
Well, that was interesting. I thought he was throwing that deeper, and it just kind of floated out of his hand, and the fullback got it. They get the first down, and still got a lot of room to go, but right now, Florida's got to get a stop.
Jelkic pumps left, takes a shot to the left side, and a contested ball there for Bubba Davis as Andrew Mock is there to bat that one away. 2nd down.
If there was anybody I thought could come up with a catch like that, it was Bubba Davis. Wasn't able to hold it in. Good job by Florida's D.
Jelkic a throw, 4-man rush. Jelkic standing in, dancing. Dylan Wingo forces a fumble, but the offensive lineman saves Jelkic.
And the Florida defense is doing an excellent job. They've given up 14 points, but a lot of that is because the Florida offense hasn't been able to do anything. Florida's defense doing everything that we could expect for them right now. They're going to need their offense to start helping them out.
So, Mike, how much of that is going to come from the halftime adjustments versus maybe a late drive here late in this half?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It would be nice for them if they could get some points here, but the adjustments are definitely going to play a factor.
Jelkic, long ball into double coverage, broken up by Dakota Wolf.
So Howie Richardson gets the deflection for that, the walk-on, but I thought Dakota Wolf is the one that swatted that one away. Double coverage either way, not a advised throw there by Jelkic, and now the offense for Florida is going to get the ball back. They got to punch this one in the end zone.
Inside of 3 minutes of play here, and this return by Kellen Irvin gets a whole lot of nada there for him, only a yard, and so Mike Matthias St. John and company from their own 36, a lot of work to do ahead of them.
They do, and they got to start right here. Deep shot wouldn't hurt.
They're going to run it with Bentley Jones, who cuts back the inside, gets 9 yards, but Mike, he might have had more if he had tried to get that outside.
I think he did a decent job of taking out the middle. He's 1 yard short. I mean, when you're picking up 9, you can't really argue with it too much.
The gun here, 4 wide, trips to the left. Midline read, and Matthias St. John gets driven backwards by Micah Myers. It's a loss of 3, and that makes it 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Micah Myers having a good day already. 3 tackles, 2nd for a loss here already in the first half. Forcing the longer 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Only 1 for 5 on 3rd downs for Florida tonight.
Pistol set. Motioning Jones out of the backfield, and St. John taking a shot to the left side, and that pass intercepted. Ollie P. Peters baits him into that throw, and he'll snag it at the Auburn 39.
Yeah, Matthias St. John, 8 of 11, only 28 yards and an interception. This Auburn defense is a different animal. It's different than anybody that they've faced. They've got a lot of playmakers out there, and right now this Florida offense has no answers for it.
2nd pick of the season by Matthias St. John is Griffin Jelkic, looking to put more points on the board here, and he will start with a quick throw for Michael McKenzie, who's breaking tackles, and McKenzie to the open field. One man to beat, and that is Muhammad Damore, who cannot catch him. Touchdown, Auburn.
Wow, I don't really know what to say outside of that. We saw it in the championship game. Really, the whole playoffs for Michael McKenzie really came on the scene as one of the better tight ends in the league. And you see it there. He gets bottled up. He bounces out of traffic, uses his excellent acceleration, speeds away from the defense, takes it to the house. And now Florida really looking uphill here. Even though they're at home, down 18 against a team like Auburn, tough spot to battle out of.
End zone, Kellen Irvin trying to make something this return, and he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. And Mike, that's pretty much been the status quo for this Florida offense tonight. Just not been able to do a whole lot.
Well, they're just not taking shots deep, and they're playing underneath, and Auburn's just ready for it.
By St. John to throw with a three-man rush. He's going to take off and run, and right into Conrad Wallace, who will sack him for a loss of 5. Florida takes a timeout.
Well, we thought that Matthias St. John's made a lot of progress this season. Now you see him play a team like this, and it shows how much room he still has to grow.
The backfield, quick throw out into the flats. That's Ty Patton picking up 3 yards. That makes a long third down a little shorter.
Well, we'll see here if they go with something like a halfback screen and wave the white flag, or if they actually try to throw it downfield and pick up the first.
Auburn showing blitz. They bring it, and they're going to run it with Bentley Jones, and standing over him is Peters. Auburn will take a timeout. They'd like to add to their score here on the road.
Well, 100%. Auburn's not just going to run out the clock. They're going to try to add to it. They can go up 28-3 at the half. They're definitely going to do it. Right now, Florida just looks unprepared for this defense.
Ball came loose, but Auburn able to recover it on that punt return by Crossferry III.
Well, there you look at Robert Davis, 40 yards, a couple of touchdowns. The rest of the team's done pretty well. Robert Davis hasn't done a whole lot. They're going to review this.
The previous play is under review.
And take another look to see if Crossferry III really did fumble it, and that's a great angle.
I think he was laying on his back before that came out. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, his butt's definitely down there.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be credited with a fumble for CF3.
Review the play. The ruling on the field is reversed.
So it will not be ruled a fumble. Not that it mattered either way, because Auburn recovered it, which, would have hurt Florida if they had been able to recover it. But they have missed some opportunities tonight as Griffin Jelkic, quick throw to the middle, and that's Bubba Davis picking up 2.
Well, you see Auburn's doing a lot of different things in offense. They're going underneath a little drag routes. Davis, they're taking corner route shots. They took that one-on-one shot on the outside. Florida's being a lot more predictable on offense. Auburn's keeping them more on their toes.
Jelkic to throw again, and he's going to throw short here to the left side. That's Robert Davis, who will pick up the first down before he gets swarmed by the Florida defense.
Only the second catch for Robert Davis, but he's been effective both of the times he's caught the ball out of the backfield. They might need to use that more since Florida's shutting down the run game.
On his first catch tonight was a touchdown catch earlier as Crossferry III comes up with a grab there. That one going for 9 yards as Auburn driving the field here.
Well, it's 2nd and 1 here. It's a really good spot for them to convert. They're basically in field goal range. They're definitely making it tough on Florida.
Oh, Florida making it tough on Jelkic as they get home. Down goes Griffin Jelkic for a loss of 10.
And Markevius Oswald, the transfer from Michigan, getting his first sack of the season, finally making something happen.
Auburn going no huddle. Jelkic with a long 3rd and 11, going well short of the line to gain. That's Davis who gets 10. But Andrew Mock keeps him from getting that last yard that Auburn needed.
Yeah, I don't mind that play at all. They ran Crossferry on the streak on the outside, try to clear out some room underneath. They kept the ball in field so that the clock keeps running. Now they're going to try to kick the field goal and go up 21.
So it'll be a 42-yard field goal attempt. And from the left hash here for Friar Cook to add to this lead. And they're going to let time run down to make it the last play of the half.
Yeah, it should be. I suspect that we're going to see him run it down to just a couple of seconds on the play clock. And it should be the last play of the first half. And if they make it, big hill for Florida to climb in the second half.
So with 2 seconds on the play clock, the ball snapped and the hold is good as Friar Cook delivers to make it a 21-point half. Auburn on the road and in the swamp. And Mike, as we go into the studio for the halftime show and Florida goes in the locker room, they've got some adjustments to make, not necessarily on defense, but primarily on their offensive side.
Yeah, it's mostly offense. They're going to have to adjust a little bit on defense because they're going to need maybe to be a little bit more aggressive and force some mistakes from Griffin Jelkic. Right now he's getting too much time in the pocket, and the only time he turned the ball over is when he got blitzed and he threw it in the double coverage. They're going to need their defense to make some plays, but they really got to figure out their offense. Right now their offense leaves a lot to be desired. It's not fooling Auburn. They're making all the plays, and you can't depend on your defense to win the game for you every week.
You see it there that this Florida defense has really made life difficult tonight for Griffin Jelkic and this Auburn team coming into tonight. They got a lot going for him here, especially leading the way in passing yards, dominating time of possession, almost 16 minutes in time of possession in that first half.
Yeah, almost 3 times the time of possession. They've got, what is that, 7, 8, almost 8 times as many pass yards. I mean, this is complete and utter domination by Auburn. Florida came in 3-0. They thought they were hanging with the big boys. They pulled off an impressive upset and a big win over LSU last week, but they maybe came in overconfident here because they do not look ready for this Auburn team.
And it's a tough stretch here for Florida. They've never been able to defeat Auburn, and coming out with the momentum that they did early this season, they thought maybe they had a shot, and they still do. Right, down 21. We've seen 21-point comebacks before, but they usually start in this quarter, and Florida's got to come up with something on this drive.
Well, the fact that they start with the ball is good for them. If they can move the ball down the field, any points would be good, but they really got to show that they can punch the ball into the end zone.
Matthias St. John, play fake. Quick throw, and that pass dropped by the walk-on Ashton Johnson. Not the way you want to start a very critical drive.
Well, no. I mean, I don't mind the play fake there, but you go short, you go underneath, you go to a walk-on. It's just, I don't know. It's confusing.
Pistol set. Draw play. Bentley Jones runs through Micah Myers and then stumbles the rest of the way to a 9-yard gain. It's another 3rd and 1.
Well, this is the bread and butter of this offense, although I've been saying they don't use it enough. Running with Bentley Jones, read options with St. John, and taking shots deep to Irvin.
Lead option keeper Matthias St. John gets hit hard by OPP, but St. John does convert for the second time here tonight.
Yeah, I think things have just been too easy for this Florida offense before this, and I thought they thought they could just keep doing what they've been doing and maybe forgot the fact that they actually were the lowest scoring team in the league and just weren't prepared for Auburn to be as capable as they are.
St. John going to take off and run, and he is going to slide. He wants no part of Peters again.
Well, I wouldn't. Peters already picked him off once. He's laid a couple of big hits. Him and Callaway, among some of these other guys out there, they make it really difficult, and Florida's got to get creative here.
Good option keeper, Matthias St. John, little stutter step, and Ollie P. Peters uses that as an opportunity to just come flying in and stop St. John behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's a good example of when a defense gets into your head, as you're not sure what to do when you get the ball in the open field. You expect somebody's coming to take your head off, and you had a first down, and you overthought it.
Lead option keeper again, St. John trying to create an alley for himself as Jaquan Jackson gets over there. But St. John starting to move the sticks here, Mike. He's kind of doing what Blake Moon used to do and trying to put it on his shoulders.
Well, he's going to have to throw the ball. He's going to have to test his receivers here, and he just hasn't really done that much.
Here he is to throw, and he's going to take off and run again as Conrad Wallace turns him around, and then he's finally brought down by the walk-on Michael Wright.
Yeah, and again, it's been decent up to this point for St. John, but I think it's been a little bit too easy. He was getting away with a lot of these things in the previous contests that he's not getting away with here against Auburn, and they got to change up their approach.
Kind of seeing the difference from some of the teams that you play going up against the defending national champions is that pass nearly intercepted by Mark Callaway to set up a long 3rd down.
Well, and again, he's taking a shot underneath, and he's throwing it to against the reigning defensive player of the year, and you don't even throw it out. I don't know. It's crazy.
St. John dancing, pressure gets home. Down goes Matthias St. John, and he is sacked by Mark Callaway.
I thought Callaway was the first one in there. No, it was Conrad Wallace was the first guy in there, and then Callaway winds up getting credit for the sack. So tip of the cap to Conrad Wallace there, but Callaway getting his first sack of the season, and it gets Florida off the field. And as we've seen before, Auburn's offense not going to rest on their laurels. They're going to keep being aggressive, and Florida's defense is going to have to play well to keep this from being a 4-score game.
Yeah, this Auburn offense does not know anything other than pedal down in this one, and that's not going to change.
No, it's not. I wouldn't be surprised to see a streak or post route over the middle of Bubba Davis for a touchdown at some point on this drive.
So to start the drive, they're going to run it with Robert Davis to the left side here, and he'll get 7.
Well, and they start off going to Robert Davis. Only his 10th carry, only averaging 3 yards. Again, Florida's done a really good job of shutting him down. But what it's going to do is it's going to leave some one-on-one opportunities, and the secondary can't hang with these receivers.
And off here, Robert Davis gets bottled up pretty quickly there for a 4-yard gain. I want to give a shout-out to everybody in the live chat here tonight. Andrew Ward, Rick, we all know Matt Pack, Bubba's Karaoke, which is Georgia fan, Devin Davis, Jonah Jeans, Jimbo, and anybody else I might have missed. I do apologize, but we're still getting used to the new names in live chat.
Well, a little read option there by Jelkic. I like the first 2 runs going to Davis. I didn't really like that one a little bit, although it kind of makes sense. I suspect they're going to take a shot here at some point.
2nd and 12. Jelkic throwing short, and that pass caught by Bubba Davis, and he will get 9 of the 12 yards that they needed.
Well, it's a 3rd and 3, so now they got a lot of options. They can hand it off to Davis. They can run an angle route with him. They can go read option. They can go on a little drag or slant route over the middle with Bubba Davis. They got a lot of options here, and this is a spot you don't want to put this Auburn offense in.
Auburn 4 of 8 on 3rd downs here tonight. And they're going to come out strong eye to the left. Robert Davis running that side. A little stiff arm there with the Florida defense. Mike, they do what they needed to. Much like they've been doing a lot tonight. They get the stops. It's just the offensive side of things that's been the problem.
Well, they've got a few stops, and they've done a good job of predicting when Auburn's going to run it, especially in situations like that, and getting them off the field. Unfortunately, Auburn's not really concerned right now because their offense for Florida hasn't shown that they're capable of moving the ball and putting together long drives.
And, Mike, we thought, or at least I thought coming in, that was going to be the real test, was whether or not Florida's offense would be able to keep up with Auburn.
Well, right. And it's showing that right now that answer to that question is no.
As Matthias St. John once again running, and you got to admire the commitment to the ground game. Unfortunately, midway through the 3rd quarter, down 21, it's not going to help you a lot.
Well, you're going to have to use it to try to create some space downfield, but you got to take it.
Quick throw out into the flats there, so another short pass, but it does pick up the 1st down. So they're moving the sticks, but yet to see any sort of a shot downfield.
Well, this works when you get out in front and your defense forces turnovers and you take early leads, but that's not what happened here, and they haven't adjusted for it.
Quarterback draw, and Matthias St. John stepped at the line of scrimmage by Micah Myers.
And again, Micah Myers having himself a nice game. Sits there, watches the quarterback, sees the draw coming, breaks on him, makes the tackle, stops him at the line of scrimmage. Only 104 yards of offense for Florida.
Auburn showing blitz, and they bring it as Matthias St. John tries to take off and run, but he is stopped by Bubba Bullard, and that is a sack for a loss of 3.
Well, Bubba Bullard looked like he was wrestling a hog there as he grabs St. John and just holds on for dear life and spins him down. Gets a little bit of help there by Micah Myers. So a well-timed blitz there. And Florida has really struggled on 3rd down. 3rd and 12 is not going to be easy for them at all.
Yeah, 3 of 10 on 3rd downs here tonight for Florida. And they have not made it into the Auburn red zone at all tonight as Bentley Jones out to the flats, and he'll get 4.
Now Ben Grant comes up to make the stop there and shut him down. And again, just uninspired play calling. A lot of short underneath stuff. Too confident, I think, in their players. And I mean, I hate to keep belaboring the point, but again, I don't think that Florida knew what they were getting with this Auburn team.
Crossfade the third is trying to get something out of this. So, for Auburn kind of going forward, next week, Auburn will play back at home. They'll play Miami. Florida, on the other hand, they'll still be here in the Swamp, but they get to play the Seminoles next week as Jelkic. That pass across for the third down inside the 39.
Well, it's going to be a tough game for Florida. The Seminoles have shown some vulnerabilities, but if anything, maybe Florida uses this as a wake-up call to say, okay, maybe this worked a little bit early on, and we caught some teams early on that weren't quite as prepared. They're going to need to come up with a better game plan, especially offensively. Again, their defense has done okay, but when you play a defense like this and your offense can't move the ball, doesn't really matter what your defense does.
Yeah. So right now, Griffin Jelkic looking to throw, and to the right side, it's Michael McKenzie picking up 4 yards. And Mike, Auburn right now trying to hold on and win, because right now a win tonight gives them 8 wins in a row, dating back to week 8 of last season.
Yeah, they need one more to tie the all-time record by Hawaii, / Washington season 2. No, it was just Hawaii in season 2. Or did they move?
But they got their 9th win in week 1 as Washington the following.
Oh, they
season.
did. They won the championship and they moved the next season. So yeah, nine wins. So you'd have one more to tie that. Of course, the regular season record is 8 in a row. That's held by Ohio State, who did that a couple of seasons ago. But it's been impressive what Auburn's been doing.
From Jelkic out of the pistol, and Michael McKenzie, the motion man. Jelkic trying to, kind of get his touchdown total back up, as Bubba Davis still technically on his feet down inside the 25. And, Jelkic usually when he throws a pick, he gets angry and tries to throw a lot more touchdown passes.
Well, Conrad Wallace asking in chat if we're calling it already by the fact that we're talking about next week's games. Right now, Florida hasn't given us anything to have any hope.
That pass over to the left sideline and incomplete. Led Bubba Davis a little too far out of bounds.
Well, a little is an understatement. He was about a yard too far out of bounds. One of the few mistakes that we've seen Jelkic make tonight.
Jelkic trying to add, and he's going to throw short there. That time Bubba Davis catches it, holds on to it as he backs out of bounds.
Well, I'm a little concerned here for Griffin Jelkic as he is not very accurate. It seems like he's just out there flinging in the backyard with a little nonchalant, though.
They're going to go halfback screen here, and Arkevius Oswald, for whatever reason, that dude sniffs those out like he sniffs out a plate full of pancakes.
And Oreos probably, too. I heard he likes those.
Yes. Yeah, he does
Taco
like
Bell.
those.
His diet probably isn't the best. Good job, though, to set it up on the left hash for the right-footed Fryer Cook here, who's 11 for 12 on the season, All-American a season ago.
This one from 39 yards away, and Fryer Cook delivers to make it a 24-point game. And 1:06 to play here in the third.
I think Fryer Cook's going to have to start holding a kicking clinic for the rest of the kickers in this league.
Especially from what we've seen from some kickers over the early weeks. Blake Harrell, we've seen some not inspired kicking from him. Who are some of the other kickers? Clutterbuck has had some problems.
Yeah, Poland has had a whole career for
Oh,
problems.
well.
So, yeah, it's been impressive what Cook has been able to do. Only 2 misses the last 2 seasons. But Florida down, they held them to a field goal. They're still down 24. It's 3 touchdowns technically. They got to light a fire under their butts.
They are going to do not that. Quick throw out into the flats for Ashton Jones, picking up 3.
Well, St. John just hasn't shown any confidence in being able to throw the ball downfield, but also a lot of that comes with route concepts, and you can get route concepts open if you call the right concepts against the right defense. They're just not doing that.
St. John, another short throw on the curl route this time for the walk-on Jones. He'll pick up 9. So, Mike, there seems to be 2 things going on here. One, there seems to be not a lot of confidence in Matthias St. John's arm. And 2, St. John has not really thrown to Kellen Irvin or to Ty Patton or to Tyler Wilson yet tonight as St. John running here.
Well, I think this is part of it. I mean, some of it's probably play calling. Some of it's St. John just not having confidence maybe in his own abilities or maybe in his receivers. And he's taken off a lot instead of trying to find receivers downfield. Unfortunately, I just don't think he's going to pick up, 50, 60 yards at a clip running the ball.
John throwing left sideline. That's a walk-on Ashton Jones again. And so the walk-on's having a big night.
And they seem to like him. I don't know if a guy like Kellen Irvin out there, why they don't focus on him more. Bentley Jones, too.
St. John to throw, and there's for Bentley Jones, and maybe that is why as Jones heard footsteps and drops it. So we're 3 quarters in, and Auburn has got a 24-point lead over the Florida Gators. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube Live. Back here in Gainesville for the 4th quarter of this one, the two unbeatens, and looking like Auburn will be the last as that pass downfield, and Bubba Bullard nearly intercepted that one, and Auburn will take over on 4th down.
I'm sure Kellen Irvin is looking up at the booth saying, see, this is what happens when I try to throw it deep. Well, how about you don't throw a bullet pass to the safety? I mean, they went to Irvin, but you got to put some touch on it. You got to lead him downfield, let him outrun the defense, and he just kind of darts it in there and doesn't have enough angle on it to get it over the defender, and Bullard just misses coming down with one.
Jelkic dancing, taking a shot into coverage, and catching it is Crossberry the third for the touchdown.
Well, no surprise there, as Griffin Jelkic says, let me show you how to do it, young fella, as he throws that one. Tight coverage there, but Crossberry doesn't mind. Perfectly thrown ball. Great job by Crossberry to make the catch there. And Auburn just proving their superiority here on the field tonight.
Well, and not just that, but I mean, Mike, the season for Auburn continues. That they are on a quest to try and be the first team to repeat. As Kellen Irvin into the open field, one man to beat, and we have been robbed of our first kick return for a touchdown this season.
Well, he took it down the left sideline. It's the second time tonight that he's broken one free, but not able to take it to the house. Again, he's setting up good field position here for the Florida offense. We'll see if they can do something with it.
St. John 2x2 set, halfback screen, and Bentley Jones can't outrun the Auburn defense. That's a loss of 2.
Well, you know, why not? You're down by 31. How about go with a halfback screen? Hasn't worked for you all night. So, you know, eventually maybe they figure they're going to break one and they can at least pat themselves on the back for getting one to work. I don't really know what to say about this Florida offense, as I was a little concerned about them coming in. I mentioned that in the intro of the game. They were the lowest scoring team in the league, but this is something else.
And that pass intercepted by Ollie P. Peters, her second pick of the night, and the second pick by Matthias St. John tonight.
Well, I have it on good authority, though. PP was a little peeved that they didn't win the Player of the Week last week. Well, 2 interceptions here. I still don't know if it's going to be enough because we had a 3-interception game last night, but doing everything he can.
Certainly is. Robert Davis running left, and he stumbles backwards. So, Mike, we thought maybe coming into tonight that Florida was going to be a good test for Auburn. Turns out that was not the case. Barely a speed bump by the looks of things tonight.
Who said that Florida was going to be a good test for Auburn?
Fair enough.
I mean, they played USC, who went to the championship game in Oregon, who was in the playoffs.
Good test for Auburn being a good test for Florida. I'll put it that way.
Yes, Auburn was a great test for Florida. It was definitely the best team that they're going to play all season. And right now, despite the 3-0 start, they are showing that they are on a completely different level.
Auburn's second half of the season, obviously they play Miami next week, but then they follow that up. They have a road trip to Tallahassee. They'll play Florida State. Then they play LSU, and Auburn will get them at home, and then they follow that up by a trip over to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. So, Mike, out of those, I would say your best bet to see a potential upset, Miami has pulled that off in the past against Auburn, and LSU, I would think.
Miami's struggling right now. I think LSU has the best chance to beat them, although Connor Russell, the AD and head coach of LSU, said that Auburn's going undefeated if they win this game. So he doesn't even have confidence in his own team against Auburn.
He's not sure that he can knock him off. And
well, he never has, so it's understandable.
Well, he has in the regular season. He just can't do it in the postseason.
That's true.
Matthias St. John trying to erase the field goal that's on the scoreboard, and that's a pass caught by Ty Patton. It's only his second catch of the night. And Mike, I think at this point, Florida's just saying, just get us a touchdown tonight.
Well, I think they would like to see one. I really think it's deflating to your team to not have any success on third down, not have any success on the Auburn side of the field, and not being able to get it in the end zone. So you would like to end the game with a little bit of momentum, but right now I just don't see it happening, honestly.
St. John going to check it down. That's Bentley Jones, and he will get out to the 48. And Mike, Florida's road, this loss obviously is going to set them at 1-1 in conference. They can still make the playoffs, Mike. Their last 4 games, Florida State obviously next week. Then they've got 2 road dates. They'll go to Clemson. They'll go to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama. And then they follow that up to end the season with their rivals in the Miami Hurricanes back here at Gainesville.
Yeah, they can definitely win 2 of those, and if they do, they'll be sitting at 3-2 in conference, which will probably get them in the playoffs. I was doing some of the standings on the website last night, and it's surprising how many 2-3 and under 500 teams that we've had make the playoffs. So there's definitely an opportunity, but you go 3-2, you're probably getting in. So that's the thing that Florida's got to put this one behind them, focus on the teams going forward, win 2 of those conference games, and they can find themselves in the playoffs where anything can happen.
As we have seen, as Auburn knows a lot about playoff runs, and Florida able to convert on 4th down there.
Yeah, a nice job going to the corner route. This is one of those routes that, one of my sayings, that when in doubt, corner route. They haven't really used it tonight. They haven't really thrown much beyond 5 to 10 yards, and so they're going to need to open up their offense and find more of those in their playbook if they want to win consistently down the road.
St. John to throw, and he will float that out for Bentley Jones, and fumbled out of bounds, courtesy of Mark Calloway. But, Mike, there's another saying of yours that has at least stuck with me that you could offer to Florida as well.
Don't know.
Study long, study wrong, my friend.
Well, that is definitely a something that can afflict some teams. I don't think that's what afflicted Florida. I think Florida just got a little too comfortable.
I was referring to going forward. St. John over the middle, and so Florida driving at least. They might get that touchdown, Mike.
Well,
they might.
Yeah, they might. I think Auburn's relaxed a little bit in the secondary. They are getting a little bit more creative with their play calling, so it would be good to see them get in there. Surprisingly, they're almost even on 1st downs.
Draw play, Bentley Jones trying to cut upfield. Bentley Jones getting down to the 5.
Okay, when Bentley Jones just stiff arms OPP to the ground like nothing's going on, you know that the Auburn defense is basically taking the rest of the game off.
You know that they have decided to say, yeah, we're done here. Our work's done for the night. And very fittingly, as we near the midway point of this 4th quarter, and Florida trying to come up with their first touchdown of the night. Here's Bentley Jones again, and they said, all right, enough's enough.
You got 3 down linemen, you got a ton of room up the middle, you got numbers up the middle, and you decide to run an outside run play. I don't understand it. Very confusing, this Florida team that we've seen versus the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that, though. I mean, we've seen some surprises this week. I don't know how many of us would have expected this game to go that way. Certainly, nobody who went into the predictions earlier this afternoon when the preview went out. But nobody expected Nebraska to, do what they did last time.
Well, never satisfied. Predicted Auburn by 90.
Oh,
as did Conrad Wallace.
Oh, that's very true. Yes. So a couple. As Bentley Jones can't find the end zone.
Well, this is just the part of this offense. They're just scared to throw the ball past the marker, and they're always checking it down underneath.
Mark Calloway, by the way, 10 tackles, 2 for loss. He's got a sack. And Matthias St. John on the read option keeper does score the touchdown for Florida.
Well, that touchdown was on OPP there. As they went read option, OPP is the backside defender, bites hard, thinks it's going to Jones. St. John does a great job keeping it, and they finally get it in the end zone.
Mike, we've seen games kind of like this in the past, right? I mean, we over the history of the CFSL, we've seen games that, don't necessarily pan out the way you would think in one team, and it gets a little lopsided. And then we've seen those same teams that are on the wrong side of that. They go on, they can have a pretty good season.
Well, it's all about who are these guys? I don't know what the truck was trying to show us there, but okay, thanks. It's all about what you can learn from it. Going all the way back to season 2 when Ohio State threw 6 picks, got blown out by Notre Dame. They also got blown out by Hawaii, but they wound up going on a run late, and they got to the championship game, played a very compelling game against Hawaii, who blew them out earlier in the season. It's all about wins and losses. They talked about that in the content writers earlier. Jimbo was talking about it. I think you win more from your losses than you do from your wins. Obviously, Florida didn't learn a lot the first 3 weeks. They're going to learn a lot from this game.
Auburn, on the other side of things, they've had their fair share of losses to learn from, and that is how they've been able to get to this point and have such sustained success.
Well, if you talk to Matt Pack, it was 4 seasons, 5 seasons, really, because they backed their way into the playoffs in season 5, even though they got the championship game. It was really 5 seasons of pain and agony. for Matt Pack and the Auburn Tigers before they turn into the juggernaut that we see out here in front of us.
And the real question then ends up becoming, because a lot of these players on this Auburn team, are in fact seniors. Griffin Jelkic, a lot of the pieces on this offense, Jelkic, Robert Davis, Bubba Davis, all seniors on this offense. That it's going to be pretty difficult for another juggernaut to appear to be replicated. I think the closest might be USC in the making after Auburn loses some of their seniors.
I mean, it's possible. We thought that Ohio State was the next juggernaut, and they're now split between Florida State and LSU. So you don't really know what's happening. I agree with you that USC could be that team. Obviously they didn't look great in week 1, but they've kind of rebounded a little bit. Texas has been good. A team that's a juggernaut is just really hard. Right now, Auburn looks like the best team that we've seen from late, really all last season into the second season. They've, I think, maybe have the best chance of winning a title. I mean, Texas came off of their title, lost 3 games in a row to start. We've never really seen a team that has won a championship and then gone 4-0 the next season. So if anybody can win 2 in a row, it's Auburn. But like you said, a lot of seniors on this team. Friar Cook continues to be automatic, kicking the ball. But a lot of seniors on this team, and that was the thing that they talked about coming in. They brought in Robert Davis last season. They brought in the safety Digger Graves, who didn't wind up sticking around, left early to go pros. But that was what they talked about. They knew they had Jelkic for another season. They knew they had Crossferry. They knew they had OPP. Let's go out there and make a 2-year run, or a 2-year run. They got it last season. They want to finish it up with another one.
And so, and we have never seen a team win back-to-back national titles. And Auburn was the first, really, to make it to back-to-back national championship games.
We've never seen a team make back-to-back title games.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did. Well, Auburn did. So, yeah, I guess Auburn was the first one. They did, yeah. They lost it to Texas, and then they beat USC. But, yeah, I mean, it's again, a lot of season left to play. There's still 4 regular season games. There's at least 2 playoff games if Auburn wins the SEC, which they've never done, surprisingly. So there's a lot of way to go. But, I mean, I think right now Auburn is everybody's favorite to win it all again.
Well, and, the AD of LSU came out and said it, that if Auburn won tonight, nobody was stopping them.
There's gamesmanship. Never Satisfied says his team is terrible even when they're winning or they're going to Rose Bowls every season. So, I don't know how much to take out of that. There are good teams out there. I mean, you got teams in the SEC like Florida State and LSU, Alabama. Miami has pulled upsets on Auburn the last 2 seasons. So there are definitely roadblocks in the way of Auburn going undefeated. But if there's anybody that could do it, even if they don't go undefeated, they still got a really, really good chance at repeating. The one thing is Auburn's got to avoid getting comfortable and taking wins like this and feeling that they got it in the bag. But I think until somebody proves that they don't, what can you say? And Rick says Auburn is playing with house money. How is Auburn playing with house? They are the favorite. They are everybody's favorite. I don't even understand that. I'm glad Rick isn't making the lines in the sports book.
Well, this one finally comes to an end. Auburn winning 30-7 to 10 here from the Swamp.
Now we got some games coming up tomorrow, David.
We do indeed. Tomorrow, our Saturday doubleheader to wrap up Week 4. USC at Michigan. That'll kick off at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'll be followed up by Notre Dame at Oregon. 2 very big Big Ten matchups.
Yeah, 2 pivotal games as both of those, or all 4 of those teams are looking for position. Obviously, USC kind of controls their fate, but Michigan, Notre Dame, and Oregon are all right in there. Oregon actually 1-0 in the Big Ten. So really pivotal Big Ten games tomorrow. I'm excited to see how those play out.
So for Mike, I'm David. We will see you back here tomorrow. I believe we'll be back on YouTube Live.
Yes.
So we will be back here on YouTube Live tomorrow for our CFSL Saturday doubleheader. For Mike, I'm David. We'll see you then.